Hello, my name is Caleb Reyes, and this is my presentation on the mating behavior in the red-sided garter snake. The red-sided garter snake, also called Thamnophis sirtalis parietalis, is typically found in the central third of the North American continent and is most predominantly located in Manitoba, Canada, which borders the Arctic, making it the reptile that lives farther north than any other reptile. The red-sided garter snake is able to survive conditions as severe as -40 degrees Celsius and in environments covered in snow for up to 9 months at a time. This particular species of snake can grow anywhere from 18 to 55 inches long, with an average length of 36 inches. Animals typically exhibit associated mating behavior, meaning that mating is caused by the presence and concentration of circulating sex steroids, with castration of the testes extinguishing all sexual activity. In contrast, the red-sided garter snake exhibits dissociated reproductive patterns, meaning that mating behavior is actually unrelated to the circulating sex hormones such as testosterone. Instead, mating behavior is driven by extended periods of time spent in cold temperatures, followed by a sudden exposure to heat, meaning that castration does not affect sexual activity in the red-sided garter snake. In fact, the intensity of mating behavior in males of the species is directly correlated to the amount of time spent in cold temperatures. The longer a male snake's winter hibernation, the more intense their mating behavior will be when the outside temperature increases. Scientists observed these behaviors and hypothesized that the initiation of courtship behavior and mating is independent of direct androgen control, so steroid hormones may have indirect effects on mating behavior in animals that display associated reproductive behaviors, such as the red-sided garter snake. Here is the classification of the red-sided garter snake. Scientists implemented the investigation of she-male snakes, which are male snakes with female skin lipids that attract males but have 3 times as much testosterone than a normal male. Scientific investigation concentrated on the anterior hypothalamus preoptic area, which is a part of the brain that plays a vital role in the motor patterns associated with courtship behavior. Scientists recorded the volume of neurons concentrated with sex hormones, as well as their individual diameter, in the brains of male, female, and she-male red-sided garter snakes. The results were that the neuron diameter in male snakes were greater than that of female neurons in the AHPOA, with no difference in sex hormone concentration. She-males did exhibit a much larger neuron diameter than both male and female red-sided garter snakes. Snakes involved in the research were given a unique clipping pattern on their ventral shoots, which are a snake's underside scales, for identification. Animals were housed in groups of 10 to 15 individuals for easy monitoring of their health, with a diet consisting of fresh, canned, or frozen fish twice weekly, supplemented with vitamins and minerals. A freshwater environment was maintained alongside a photic cycle and temperature range to accurately stimulate the snake's natural environment. It should be noted that animals generally feel more agitated in an unfamiliar environment, so the snake's environmental chamber was cleaned with water only to retain the snake's odor. Male red-sided garter snakes recognize females by various visual and olfactory cues. A male's tongue increases in its number of flicks as it approaches a female, then exhibits a behavior where he rubs the female's chin, a movement only seen in a courting context. The male then traverses a female's body until parallel and flips his tail under hers to insert one of his two penises, with a series of body contractions. Scientists graded male snakes on a point system ranging from 0 to 3 to determine the intensity of their mating behaviors, with 0 being the male failing to investigate a female, and 3 being the male achieving intromission. Scientists found that males that received lesions on the AHPOA failed to approach a heat source placed in the snake's environmental chamber, as well as exhibit courtship behavior. But when forced to approach a heat source, these same male red-sided garter snakes then exhibited regular courtship behavior despite lesions on their AHPOA. The scientists' hypothesis was correct. Sex hormones have only an indirect effect on mating behavior in red-sided garter snakes, as a higher concentration of testosterone in the male snake's AHPOA area of the brain did not necessarily cause an increase in intensity or frequency of mating behavior. Further investigation of the AHPOA of male snakes suggests that estrogen may be more effective at increasing the size of androgen concentrating neurons associated with mating behavior, and further research should be conducted to determine how closely linked these two factors are. Although an increase in circulating sex hormones is related to the intensity and frequency of mating behaviors, a more direct cause appears to be a sudden increase in temperature occurring after a long period of low temperatures. Dissociated reproductive behavior, as seen in the red-sided garter snake, is not observed often in nature, as the most observed mating behaviors are those between humans. It is commonly seen that an increase in testosterone in young human males upon the entrance into puberty is a direct cause of an enlargement of the testes as males begin to produce sperm, as well as an enlargement of their other sex organs. Courtship behavior in both males and females typically begin to intensify in the mid-teenage years as a result of this increase in androgen production and testosterone begins to regulate libido production in males. Due to being one of the few species whose mating behavior is not dependent on the presence of androgens, the red-sided garter snake stands out in the animal kingdom. Thank you.